We are back with the top five, talking about George Michael. Now, there's a pretty hefty rock with it or stop with it. And this doesn't mean that these songs may not also be on your top five, but there are
Okay.
just a lot of songs because of his popularity that got, and in some cases still do, get a decent amount of airplay, but I think some people could say they were overplayed quite a bit. But I'm actually interested in what you think as far as some of these. So I, I only put this here because it is so funny in hindsight to listen to. But Wham rap, rock with it or stop with it.
I mean, I'm not going to actively listen to it, but I had a many year period of actively listen. Like I know I could recite that song top to bottom.
Uh-huh.
Um, it's funny. I mean, but it's not a great piece of music.
No.
Yeah.
It and it's. I imagine it was probably pretty goofy to see them perform that song
Oh,
too.
Google. You can Google those performances. It is pretty goofy.
All right. Well, we talked about this a lot on the episode covering faith, but where are you in 2026 with I Want Your Sex?
Rock with it. It's on my list.
Okay. Careless Whisper.
On my list.
I was like, I was thinking about this and going like, Careless Whisper and some of it might just be the title that people don't like and the sax, but if
How
that
can
song
you not
comes,
like the sax?
if that song comes on the radio, I'm not changing the channel.
No, not at all. Not at all. That's one of those songs that I feel like I could hear once a day for the rest of my life and not get sick of it.
What about Wake Me Up Before You Go?
Rock with it. There was definitely a period of time when I did not like that song, but I've grown into appreciating it for it's from a craftsmanship perspective. It's a good song, even if it's goofy.
What about now? We don't hear this song throughout the entire year like some of these other ones, but what about Last Christmas?
Still love it.
I love it. I like that song too. I don't
Yeah.
get sick of that one. Father Figure.
Yeah, rock with it. That missed my list, and I'm sad about it.
The title track from the album we just talked about, Faith.
That's like Wake Me Up Before You Go. That was a song that I disliked for a long time. I think like it just got super, super overplayed. And there was a period of years where I was like, I will start the album at Father Figure. I don't even want to hear Faith. But I'll listen to it now.
Club Tropicana.
Silly song. I don't go out of my way to listen to it.
Yeah, it's pretty silly.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get to our top five. So it was only after I put this thing together, and I did. I mean, I think Wham songs are on the table.
Okay.
I didn't even realize that there's only one song from Faith on my top five.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. When I put it together, I was like, interesting. Like I didn't even think about it as that was happening. But all right, let's kick it off. Number five. What is your number five?
My number five. My number five is Freedom 90. Again, like it's an anthem. It's such a powerful song, particularly in retrospect when you kind of realize that the type of freedom that he was singing about.
Right.
And it's really autobiographical. There is, if you go on YouTube, there is a performance from the MTV 10th anniversary special in 1991, which is crazy because MTV just celebrated its 45th anniversary at the beginning of this month. And it's him and like a choir, like a gospel choir, singing Freedom. And it is like it will make the hair on your arm stand up. It's insanely good. So check that out.
That's my number one, by the way.
Okay, right on.
My number one.
Sorry to spoil your list.
No, I'm glad that we have something on the same list.
Yeah.
Okay, so my number five is One More Chance.
One More Try.
Or sorry, One More Try. That's my only
song from
Faith. Yeah.
So hilariously, One More Try is my number one.
Oh, so we flip flop.
Yeah, we flip flop.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What makes that song number one?
I was a very emotional 12-year-old. I mean, I'm an emotional 50-year-old, so I guess that should be no surprise. That song just hit me in the feels real hard. And I didn't understand the lyrics back when the song was popular,
Mm-hmm.
but like there was something about it that hit me. And now that I understand it, you know, the lyrics are kind of about somebody who taught you how to fall in love and then they leave.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just such like a, I don't know, man. That song again, it hits me in the feels. I earlier this, maybe it was last year. I went to karaoke with a bunch of friends, and my friend Jason Green, who some of you listening to might know, he is an editor at Pitchfork, well-known author. Sang "One More Try" and like knocked that shit out the park. Like I was, because that's a very difficult song to sing. You have to have chops in order to sing a song like that. But yeah, I mean, for so many reasons, it just puts me back in a time and place, and it's such like a an emotional song.
Has he ever said, is that about a singular person? Is it just about a bunch of different people? Is it
I'm not
about the idea of it?
I'm not sure. I
Yeah.
don't know if he's ever. I don't remember reading or seeing anything where he's like spoken specifically about that song. I can't imagine singing a song with those lyrics that way and not have it be about something very personal that has happened to you.
Right. What about your number 4?
My number 4 is from the older album. It's "Fast Love," uh, which
It's a good song.
it's a great song. Shout out to Patrice Rushen. Like he doesn't sample "Forget Me Nots," but he interpolates it.
Yes.
And for all the people who didn't know George Michael was gay at the time that this song came out, it is very obvious upon listening to the lyrics that this song is about cruising. Um, and guys don't go cruising for women. Guys go cruising for other guys.
Yeah. Yep.
So it is, you know, in retrospect, I think a lot of people were like, "Oh, that's what that song's about." But you know, when that song came out, I was 19. I was, you know, this is pre-apps, pre-internet.
Mm-hmm.
The way that you met other men was either go to bars or you cruise in public. And so that song, as someone who's really just kind of like starting the journey of coming out, like resonated with me in a lot of ways.
Um, my number 4 is my favorite Wham song, which is "Everything She Wants."
Great song.
You know, it's kind of Hall and Oatesy a little bit.
A little bit. It's a little funkier. Well, not funkier, but it's got a little bit more like, I don't know. I can't say exactly what the thing that it has that makes it different from Hall and Oates, but I you know, I get what you're picking up, but it is still a little different.
What is your number 3?
My number 3 was "Careless Whisper."
There you go.
Yeah, that's. I mean, you can't. That sax is just like it's the most legendary saxophone part in a record like in history.
He like tried out a bunch of people for that part too.
Yeah, yeah, um, yeah. And again, just I think one thing people don't talk about a lot when they're talking about George Michael is how hard his songs are to sing. Um, and I've tried to sing "Careless Whisper" at karaoke a couple of times, and you know I can get through about 2/3 of the song before it's like, all right, yeah, this is this is meant for somebody with a bit more of a constitution than I have.
Okay. So number 3 for me. This is a little cheesy, but I knew you were waiting with Aretha.
Great
Like
song.
it's just an iconic like pairing to me.
Yeah,
Like Aretha near the end of her moments, right? Like
right.
she's in the late 80s, you know, she does have that comeback album with Lauren, which
Lauren
is
Hill.
actually pretty good,
Yeah,
but still not the peak of her powers, but still a pretty iconic performance, I thought.
absolutely.
All right, what about number 2?
Number 2 for me was "I Want Your Sex." Um, it's you know it's a fun record. It like it's funky. It is very much like, you know, it's I think it's widely documented that George was kind of a horn dog.
Yeah,
Um, and
absolutely.
this is sort of evidence of that. He would have him and Prince would have made a great record together,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think.
for sure. They
Um,
they would have both been wearing their ass out of their pants, I
yeah,
think,
exactly.
if they could have been that free.
Exactly.
All right. My number 2 is "They Won't Go When I Go," which is his
Woo.
cover of the Stevie Wonder song. And when I first listened to this, not when I first, but, like, when I re-listened to that album, I was like, "Man, he just, like, he sings it almost exactly the same, like, he doesn't
Yeah.
change anything." And then in successive listens, I went, "Oh, okay, I get it now." Like, he's singing from, like, a certain place within him. And I mean, it's a like, it's very similar to Stevie, and if you can sing very similar to Stevie,
Stevie, like that in and of itself, I think is like pretty insane.
yeah, yeah,
Like to sound even vaguely like Stevie Wonder. And he like you could make a whole George Michael album of Stevie covers. Like
yeah.
he did They Won't Go When I Go, he did Love's in Need of Love Today, he did As, he did You and I think he did Pastime Paradise. Like he's done a whole bunch of Stevie covers.
Did you ever see the documentary that he was making before he passed away, which they eventually did put out in, I think it was like 2022?
Mm-hmm.
Stevie's on that,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, like I'm not going to say that Stevie was this giant aficionado. He was very generic in kind of his statements about George, but he's on it because George did that song. And I just found it so cool because George, an artist at the level of George Michael, and we talked about him like standing toe to toe with MJ, but then just being like, you know what, I love all of these guys, and then covering their songs because it's like, why wouldn't I cover this? Like, this is
Right.
the great Stevie Wonder. Like that aspect of using your gift and not being insecure about working with people who are at your level or above your level or whatever.
Right.
That's the part of George's story that I think I really, really enjoyed.
He loved to collaborate. And, I think, Stevie to me is the greatest songwriter that ever lived. And Stevie's worst song is better than like 80% of people's best song. So,
What would you consider Stevie's worst song, by the way?
ooh. I mean, I'm gonna be basic and say I just called to say I love you.
I thought that's what you were gonna
But
say.
I mean, that song came on the other day and I sang every lyric.
Oh
I
my
know that
gosh.
whole song front to back. Um, so if Stevie like praises you, that's like being blessed. Like you got the magic wand like that, like touched you on the head.
Mhm.
Um, so and I think it says something about who you are, right? So, George Michael was incredibly special and honored Stevie Wonder, and Stevie Wonder honored him back, which I think makes him even more special. Uh, but yeah, I mean, it's just, I wish that they would have gotten the chance to collaborate. And who knows, the way Stevie is, there might even be something sitting around somewhere where they might have done a song together at some point. Who the hell knows?
Yeah. So, we got to your number one already. So
Right.
I did want to talk a little bit about that documentary. Um, it is crazy because like it's his voice, he's narrating,
Right.
he's telling the story, and then as they're finishing the production is when he passes away.
Right.
We didn't really cover his death all that much, or almost at all on the Faith episode, but I kind of wanted to talk about it here. The drug abuse being drug and alcohol, I think,
Yeah.
being really the reason why he passes at the age of 53. So sad, man. Like,
It's sad, and I mean, I think there's a little bit more to it. There have been suggestions that he took his own life.
mm,
Um, he passed away either on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. I think his mother passed away also on Christmas Eve, and a couple of years later, his sister passed away on either Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, which is like really horrible coincidence. But George, the sad thing is that, and I've been thinking about this a lot lately, like what leads people to addiction, right?
Yeah.
And you start using substances to kind of fix a hole, to cover up a hole, to make up for something that you're not getting, whether you're not getting love or not getting support, or like the world is heavy and you need something to cope. Like people don't necessarily use drugs because like it's fun and I want to do this. It's self-medication.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that there was a lot that he needed to self-medicate for.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure he went to therapy, and I know for a fact he went to rehab a whole bunch of times, but I just think it got to a point where like the pain was too much. And he was, again, like it had gotten so bad. He was like crashing his car into things, and he went to jail, and all this stuff. It was just like, damn, man. Like I hope that you get out of your own way,
Mm-hmm.
but I also understand why you have not gotten out of your own way.
Mm-hmm. So I just the research that I have for kind of the end of his life. So 2006 to 2008 faced a string of drug-related arrests and cautions, part of his well-documented struggle with addiction. November, December 2011, hospitalized for nearly a month.
Right, the pneumonia thing. I forgot about that.
With pneumonia.
Yeah.
He later said doctors spent 3 weeks keeping him alive, and reports describe him needing a tracheotomy and time in a coma in intensive care.
Right.
Discharged around Christmas looking gaunt and short of breath, and later joked about wanting to write a song called Perhaps about the near-death experience. 2013, hospitalized for 2 weeks after falling from a moving car on the M1 and suffering a head injury.
And you don't fall out of moving cars.
Dude.
You throw yourself out of moving cars.
Yeah, like maybe unless it's an action movie or something.
Right. Yeah, this isn't Bad Boys 5.
Yeah. May 2014, taken to a London hospital by ambulance for several days. His team never confirmed the reason. 2014, 2015, persistent and denied reports place him at a Swiss rehab clinic and describe repeated struggles with drug use in this period, alongside growing public concern over his reclusiveness and weight. And then, like you said, December 25th, 2016, found dead in his home. He died in his sleep, and the research, at least, says the coroner ruled the cause was natural, dilated cardiomyopathy.
Myopathy.
So
yeah.
the weakened heart, the enlarged heart, heart inflammation, and a fatty liver. So his heart had been failing for some time, a slow deterioration, consistent with the pneumonia thing that you had mentioned.
Right.
And so it wasn't really a sudden thing. It was more like a
gradual
thing. Yeah, gradual.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it just makes me wonder about so many things, like that documentary. It's like, did George Michael know that he was dying at the time he made that? Or did he have plans, to die? There's also the rumor, which I think his partner at the time posted on social, saying that George had HIV. So I don't know. There's a lot of speculation, and obviously when you're famous and you have the resources, your manner of death can be covered up.
Right.
So I don't think we'll ever really know why or how he passed away, but I feel somewhat confident that the version that we were given is actually not what happened.
So to your point, his personal physician reportedly saw him 3 weeks before his death and described an unsettling conversation in which Michael somehow knew he was going to die.
Yeah.
All right, not to end it on a sad note, but I did want to
right.
get to the whole thing of the end that we didn't cover in the faith thing. So, all right, we have some 2000s and 2010s albums to cover coming up. I looked at our list. We covered the 80s fairly well and the 90s fairly well. We still have a couple of albums left in the 70s, but the 2000s and the 2010s is where we really got to pick it up a little bit. So we'll do
Okay.
more of those in the upcoming episodes. So just check us out on 50for50.net, and you'll be caught up with everything. So for Mike, I'm Double G. We will see you when we see you. Peace
Peace.
out.